Greetings to all my listeners. Today I want to reflect to Everything Must Fall, the 2018 documentary about hashtag fees must fall, student protest in South Africa. This movement, also called hashtag fallism, was not only about university fees. It was about deeper issues like racism, outsourcing, class inequality, and decolonization. As I watched the film, I kept thinking about how students work together to organize protest, handle conflict, and respond to power. So I'll be using ideas from group dynamics which we've learned in class to explore how the movement worked from the inside. One of the things that stood out to me was how the students created a strong group identity. Even though they came from different backgrounds, poor, middle class, black or white, they all shared the same major goal: to make university education free and accessible for everyone. This shared struggle helped them form what the people who study group behavior call a collective identity. It made them feel united, like they were fighting for the same cause. It is argued that social movement need a strong identity and significant life crisis to survive. This is exactly what the hashtag fallism had. The movement also had interesting leadership dynamics. Instead of one clear leader who would rule the whole movement, there were many students who were leaders from different universities like Shera, Kala, and Mcebo Dlamini. The students believed in horizontal leadership, which means that the decisions were made by the group, but not only one person. This kind of power sharing made the group feel more equal and democratic. However, it also caused problems. Sometimes it wasn't clear who should make the final decision. As we saw in the video, no clear instructions were given when the students marched towards the parliament. Some of the students thought that violence is the only option this is the only way they can deny the fees proposed by the government, while others actually believe that negotiations with the officials will be more efficient. This links to the group roles and leadership theory, which says that unclear leadership can lead to confusion or conflict. Even though the students were united, the documentary shows that there was still conflict inside the groups. Some students felt like their voice weren't being heard, especially women and LGBTQI students. They thought that the movement had left them out while they were giving their all to fight against fees just like any individual. This reminds me of in-group conflict theory. Even in close groups, people can feel left out in their identity and concerns are ignored. Still, the group stayed mostly strong. They supported each other during the police violence and arrest. That's called group cohesion, when the group is working together, and it kept the movement alive. Social media was one of the biggest tools the students used. They shared protest videos, updates, and calls to action on platforms like Twitter, using hashtags to form communities through the internet, of which these raised awareness to other prominent people and community locals. And it was again seen as proof by people of how deeply hurting it was in the movement. This also helped the movement grow fast, and people who weren't even at the universities joined the protest in solidarity. The concept of social influence explains this. When you see many people supporting a cause, you are more likely to join. As Zimbardo and others believe that group pressure and visibility can make people act in ways they normally wouldn't, like standing up to the police. The government and university authorities didn't stay in silence. They sent police with rubber bullets too and tear gases. Still, the students kept going. They found new ways to organize and resist. Like when they knew that police respond less violently to white protests than to black protests. So the students sent white individuals in the front line of marches. This shows group resilience, the ability to recover and adapt under pressure. It also connects power dynamics in group theory. When one group, like students, challenges a powerful system like the government, conflict is most likely. But how the group handles it shows their strength. Watching everything must fall helped me see #fallism not only just as a protest but as a complex group movement. From forming a group identity, managing leadership, handling conflict, and resisting power, the students use many group dynamics, sometimes without even realizing that they are using group dynamics. Understanding these group principles helps us take movements like #fallism more seriously. They are not just emotional outbursts. They are organized, thoughtful, and deeply human efforts to create change. Thank you for listening to my reflection about this group. Thank you.